Missed an episode of your favorite podcast? Choose from over a decade of content in our archives, not just the latest episode. All free at GCNlive.com.
This is your call to action. Get prepared, America. Economy, survival, energy, disasters. This is USAPrepares.com. Informative radio, educational radio. Interact now by emailing instructor@USAPrepares.com or text at 434-390-7953. Class, please take your seats. Now, your instructor, Vincent Finelli.
Well, I got a call yesterday, and Vincent said, "Hey, John," and that was Hay. So he's outstanding in his field again, making hay while the sun shines. Your dial is set correctly to USAPrepares.com. This is your captain, John Regan. I'll be sitting in today for Vincent. And I guess while we're talking about him, he will be hopefully back on the air with us tomorrow. And this weekend, he's going to be a keynote speaker at the RK Prepper Show. Saturday and Sunday. This time it's Springfield, Missouri, in the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. He'll be teaching you how to save money on your taxes by starting the business of your choice so that you can take the same tax deductions that the rich take. And admission for adults is $12, children 6 to 12, $5. We have a number of our USA Prepares instructors there: Judy Dollarhide on water filtration, Craig Douglas on survival food and radiation detection, Storm and Norman Cantwell on survival tactics and demonstrations, John Moore talking about violent climate change and how to prepare for it. And oh boy, climate really is getting crazy out there. And with us today, Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Good morning, Rick.
Good morning. I noticed your laugh isn't quite the same one that Vincent does, but it has that evil element in it, so good for you.
I've been around too, so.
Yeah, I wished I were out making hay. I forget those days when I was young. Being a farmer is really a lot of work, and it is so rewarding because it's not even about the money.
And it's what we talk about here all the time, too, is we need to be into that homesteading mode, raising a good deal of our own food, and have like-minded people doing the same around us.
It's a kind of fellowship like church. You know, having the ability to produce for yourself gives you a sense of center and sovereignty that you cannot get living in an 8-story building.
And, it's definitely on my hot list to try to find a place because, here I am in the Dallas area, and it doesn't matter what you do. Cities are not going to be survivable areas.
You're in Dallas-Fort Worth?
Yes.
Oh, my condolences. Good gosh. I thought you lived in Missouri.
We moved last year.
I see. Yeah. For a job work? You mean for work and things like that?
Yes.
Yeah. How's that all working out for you?
Well, that's
I thought so. You know, it's time to rethink who you want to be and where you want to be. It's time to figure that it's about joy and what is important to you. What's important to you, John? What do you want to do, really? If money were not a consideration, what is it that you would be doing?
I'd be on an isolated island with my wife.
What kind of an isolated island? Bikini, or we're going to do some nuclear testing, or, what kind of an island would you?
Yeah, with my luck, it'd be the one where they do the tests at, but
Really?
I'd prefer one more tropical where you've got, year-round vegetation and lots of fish and animals that you can forage from.
You realize that Hawaii will be one of the first places that ships will not go when the grid goes down. And the grid will go down. That will be what happens first. That's how you'll know the universe is changing, is that our grid is going to collapse. And when it does, it's amazing that it hasn't so far. If you don't have your water together, you're going to be part of FEMA. That's what FEMA was all about in the first place, setting up that first filter of catching people that can't get their water from municipalities.
And I just wonder how long that's going to last, because if there is no grid, the government doesn't have that much in the way of backup, especially for the people. Now, if you're part of
and the fault lines are such that if the grid goes down, how's that going to work with nuclear reactors?
I had Matt Stein on Friday, and we didn't even get a chance to get into that part of it.
So there it is. The first and foremost of things you need to concern yourself with, water and the power that delivers it. I always like gravity myself. Have a big holding tank up above your house. Catch your rainwater. By the way, in the state of Oregon, it is illegal to capture rainwater. They've actually got people in jail locally that tried to do that, and the way the state puts it, what falls on the state of Oregon belongs to the state of Oregon. There's one of your first rights being taken away right out of the gate.
Yeah, with the push on carbon control that's coming, I wouldn't be surprised if Oregon's not one of the first states that, it doesn't cost you to inhale, but if you want to exhale, you need to pay a carbon tax.
And there goes our second part of it, because the methane hydrates in the ocean now, because of the ocean levels today are the same rise in temperature that brought on the Jurassic end. And here we are at 5 degrees above, and the methane hydrates are starting to dissolve and turn into gas. And as that, we're going to watch a heating ratio on the Earth that's unparalleled in any of the previous 5 epochs. And that will mean that this 6th epoch will possibly be the end one, because of the grid and the nuclear reactors and all the rest of it going down into a big black hole. Now, all of this and my awareness of this has become to such an extent that I've become ill. It's making me ill, just posting every day on Facebook. And a couple of my readers have told me to lighten up, and they're correct. And so I've decided to become a little more like John Oliver, and a little bit of sarcasm in with all of this, because, there's, in many cases, there's nothing I personally can do about it. I don't have the resources to bug in or bug out. I'm stuck where I am with the situation I currently enjoy. I don't have any money, and all my friends are in a similar boat. They can't put an underground bunker in the ground and put their food down there. The Mormons and some of the Seventh-day Adventists have started some of that, but the types of collapses that I see in our economy and the rest of it, there's no way to protect yourself. You can't go down deep enough. You can't get far enough away. Everybody said that Brazil is where it's at, and a good friend of mine just sent me back an email saying, Brazil's broke. They're just in the same boat the rest of us are. It's global.
Yeah, and they haven't.
So it's time for some lightening up humor, because there's issues and situations that I have absolutely no control on, like the sun. I don't know what to do. So what I am going to do is realize that not only is my glass half full, it's darn well also refillable.
So when I start singing and dancing, you can consider that a sign of the apocalypse.
That will be the day, man. I'd love to see that one. That's great. What an image.
And there's a reason I don't sing. I do everybody a favor.
Oh, man. Me too. That's it. I gotcha.
That's why I let Becky sing, and, I'll do things like, narration and things like that. But,
how is Becky doing? Is she okay? Everything going to be okay? You don't know yet.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good, and, right now things look decent. That can change at any time, however.
Oh, yeah, that's the way that works. The Fingal Fate Award. The Fingal what is it? The Fingal Finger Fate Award? Something
Fickle
like
Finger
that.
Fate Award.
Yeah,
Fickle
Dan
Finger
Rowan and
Fate.
Dean Martin.
Yeah.
That's how bad my memory is. I can't even remember any of that. Dan Rowan.
and Dick Martin.
And Dick Martin. There you go. Yeah. I miss those days of innocence.
Yes, I caught the tail end of that myself. I grew up, and as, a young boy, I was looking at the space age going on in front of me. And,
now being told it wasn't even real.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It's not even real. I read this article about a trip to Mars will cause enough exposure to radiation to literally cause brain damage.
And it's so hard, just trying to figure out what the truth is.
Yeah, and the Van Allen belt and what that means and what it does not mean. Actually, we have another Van Allen belt up there right now of plutonium and strontium-90 because of Japan. If you look at the Nuclear Emergency Tracking Center, NETC.com, Japan is lit up like a candle today.
Let's talk about that when we get back from the break.
We the people grow cotton, weave fabric, engrave ink, embed strips and fibers to protect from counterfeit and carting to a private bank, having it lent back at interest, forcing taxes to service debt. This capitalism, or was Jefferson correct when stating a central bank issuing the public currency is a greater menace to the liberties of the people than a standing army? Ted Anderson, I'm placing a free silver dollar in a book that explains our monetary system. Call for your copy, 800-686-2237. It's time to understand the system. Call 800-686-2237. That's 800-686-2237.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why do over 50% of North Americans suffer from some form of chronic ailment? Could it be due to a toxic overload? It's time to take back your life. Get the lead out as well as the cadmium, mercury, and calcium. Extendovite is a garlic cayenne supplement with 5 other herbs that acts like a natural Drano, cleaning out the stored toxins, restoring your energy and youthfulness that we've lost. If you would like to live your life free of sickness, pain, or fear, then Extendovite is for you. Available in either capsules or liquid, you too can see why Extendovite is the #1 heart drop available. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Have you ever wondered if you could make electric, light, or heat in your home for free? How about a motor that charges batteries at the same time? What if this also restores useless batteries and saves you lots of money? Come to our Renaissance Charge Conference workshop on August 15th and 16th in Fort Lauderdale. Visit r-charge.com. That's r-charge.com for details, or call 208-304-2954. 208-304-2954.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson Adam Pileski of the Pileski Law Firm with principal office in Houston, Texas is the attorney responsible for the content of this ad. This ad is not legal advice, and the choice of a lawyer should not be based solely upon advertisement. Services may not be available in all states.
Attention Xarelto users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto and suffered a serious bleeding event, you may be entitled to financial compensation. Xarelto is a popular prescription blood thinner used to prevent blood clots and protect patients from strokes. These serious bleeding events have led to numerous cases of hospitalization and even death. Phone lines are open 24/7. Call 800-261-0937. That's 800-261-0937.
This is John Regan at the controls today. We were talking about radiation before the break, and I wanted to ask you if you've seen these articles on Veterans Today. They've been reporting your radiation this week. They're up to report number 12, and the list counts per minute from various locations, and they're saying the normal background radiation would be 5 to 20, and we're seeing a lot of triple digit. The highest is 866 in Billings. Here in Dallas, we're 271. But it's like all these major metro areas is considerably above what would be background radiation. So I was wondering if you'd seen that report at all.
Yes, I have. Yes, I'm aware of that. The background radiation since Fukushima has increased globally in specific locations where the plutonium falls to literally 10 times what it was before the event. I don't know if this is an extinction event. I don't know if some of my depression and illness is a result of the air I'm breathing and the exposure to radiation that I'm enjoying here on the West Coast. I can say that a factor of 10 in background radiation is not enough yet to be of maximal concern. It certainly is, though, for children. Thyroid epidemic in Japan is rampant. So small children with this increase in background radiation is quite serious. Just flying right now from Asia to LAX is semi-toxic. Most people don't get the fact that our atmosphere screens out a lot of the radiation. The background reporting that they're giving you is also misleading because they don't include gamma ray and some of the other radiation, ionizing radiation measurements. It's kind of flaky in that they are downgrading things like Richter scale. If there's an 8.4, they'll say it's a 7.2. Now, this is to not scare the public, but I have to tell you that with the amount of deaths in Nepal and the fact that Mount Everest moved 12 centimeters would tell me that there is a serious level of earthquakes now occurring across globally. And nobody is picking up that part of it. I posted on Facebook yesterday morning what global warming is about and what's causing it. This is out of Bloomberg, and it's a visual so that you get it real quick, what is causing global warming. The methane hydrates in our ocean are going to put us into a mini ice age. Absolutely going to happen. This will probably happen after the grid collapses. About the time you can't get your water, it'll turn into ice. I'm going to tell you to watch that movie again the day after tomorrow, because that's how it's going to play. And once that happens, then we have a third shoe falling, which is Planet 7X, and its debris field behind it. Mostly it's ice balls, but they're going to impact the Earth in such a manner that if you think not having water and then going through an ice age is bad, wait till you see what happens next. And now that's the part that's making me depressed. There's no place to hide. There's no place to go. What do you do now? Oh, I'm going to call Ghostbusters. Well, there you go. The laughter part allows an element of ease in the empowerment of what you can and cannot do. And so I'm going to start speaking more about spiritual options that we have, and to realize that imagination is reality. This last interview that John B. Wells did with that woman on artificial intelligence taking over everything is absolutely dead on. I wrote about that in 2001 on alien presence on the internet. It's there, and we are creating the aliens with our imagination.
Well, we're at the bottom of the hour already. This is John Regan with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. We'll be back after these few messages.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Honey, it's time for dinner. What are you doing over there on your computer?
I'm shopping for a new wallet. Mine is falling apart. Hey, did you know there's a company called ID Stronghold that makes shielded wallets to prevent electronic pickpocketing?
Oh, I didn't realize there was such a thing as electronic pickpocketing. What is that?
Well, apparently, many of the new credit and debit cards being issued have radio chips inside them called RFID that transmit our banking information to card readers when we pay. Unfortunately, a bad guy can also get one of these readers and go around the city scanning people, collecting their credit card numbers and personal information without us knowing it.
Wow, that sounds scary. Since you're getting a new wallet anyway, you should definitely get an ID Stronghold shielded wallet. Are they more expensive?
No. In fact, I can get a shielded leather wallet from IDStronghold.com for the same price or less than regular unshielded wallets from other stores.
Sounds great. My wallet isn't falling apart yet, but let me pick one out too. I want to be protected, and these wallets at IDStronghold.com look fantastic.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Did you know that drinking pure, high-alkaline water is one of the most important factors in maintaining high energy and vibrant health? Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops, available only at alkavision.com, combine a unique formula of only the most alkaline minerals. AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops alkalize your water, ridding the body of harmful toxins, and helps you regain health and energy. Alkalizing your water by simply adding 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops helps the body rid itself of acidic waste, increases oxygen content, and raises the pH of your body to healthy levels. And bacteria and viruses cannot survive in an alkaline high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops for only $29.95 at alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.
All loans subject to OnDeck score approval, must be in business at least 1 year to apply. Attention small business owners needing financing. Are you too busy running your business to deal with the slow lending process of your bank? Are you frustrated at the paperwork and delays just trying to get a decision? Then you need OnDeck, the A+ Better Business Bureau rated small business experts, where our simple application process takes as little as 10 minutes and funding could be available in just 1 business day. At OnDeck, we focus on your business operation and cash flow, not just your personal credit score. And we're ready to help with loans of up to $250,000. True business loans, not credit card advances. OnDeck provides financing to a wide variety of small businesses like restaurants, plumbing, landscaping, freight trucking, and healthcare providers. If you're frustrated with the paperwork and long decision times of traditional lenders, contact OnDeck. Funding could be available in just 1 business day. OnDeck is publicly listed on the New York Stock Exchange and has provided over $2 billion to small businesses like yours. So go to OnDeckLending.com today or call 800-293-6819. That's 800-293-6819.
And this is John Regan at the controls. Vincent is out preparing for the winter. His cows are going to appreciate the work that he's doing right now. And it's always fun chasing wascally wabbits with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Kind of reminds me of high school when you had those rare occasions where the teacher got called out of the classroom. And, there's these couple of guys in the class, and for the sake of discussion, I'll just call them Rick and John. And you never had any idea what these guys are up to next, but you knew it was going to be more fun and interesting than what the teacher had planned.
That is what is called the spontaneity of the moment. That's what it's all about. The very moment. This very moment. And look at everybody's grinning. See, I gotcha. And there it is. Getcha. Oh, that's Debbie Harry, the Man from Mars. Did you know that was the first actual rap song ever? Debbie Harry.
And look how far that's gone. One of the things I was looking at, we've got a lot of volcanoes going off. Just above ground, we have more, at least in a report about 6 weeks ago, more volcanoes active right now than we had in a normal average year in the 20th century. And the thing that I got to think about is when you have that much volcanic activity, normally you're supposed to have a cooling effect from that. And I'm not seeing that this time.
No, it's not, because of the methane hydrates and the desalinization of the ocean currents. That's it. The Gulf Stream's gone. That absolutely means the Earth has to reboot itself with an ice age. It happens every 3,600 years or so. Here we are. The Clovis culture, which later became the Hopi, crawled out of a cave afterwards and left a bunch of pictures. So more than 200 years ago, we knew that this was going to happen. We now know it's going to happen. It can't not happen. It has happened in previous epochs. This is our 6th epoch. Here we are. at the moment of the end. And it's a change of civilization. It's a reboot. We have an opportunity. It doesn't have to be a bad thing. One of the things I'm going to do as a video is I'm interviewing a specialist, a Seventh-day Adventist who is an expert on the moment of death and what happens next. And then I'm going to interview Eben Alexander, a friend of mine I spent a couple of weeks with last year in the jungles, who wrote a book called Proof of Heaven. And then I'm going to end it with some quotes by Kubler-Ross. There's something more going on here. And the Hopi have songs and dances. That's called medicine. Their tradition and their legends, the history of it. And these Clovis, when they came out of the caves, have pictures of Planet 7X coming through. That's what's going to happen. It will be a pole shift. How bad a pole shift? Nobody knows. Dr. Bert Bolin, University of Stockholm, Sweden, has a Nobel Prize in geoastrophysics and had students like George Wheeler and others, John Wheeler, that did geoelectrodynamics and the way the Earth works. And we are at the end of an epoch where we're going from Atlantis into Greece. I have recently been approached by military to do a study on the concepts of sound and dance movement and how it changes space-time from a previous epoch's technology. This is what the Nazis were interested in, and the idea of how sound can move giant stones into pyramids. I think, by the way, that these pyramids on Mars that just came out in the recent tabloids, I think is going to be a hoax. I don't know that, but it's always a bunch of disinformation around stuff that's real. The Nazis were always interested in technologies from previous civilizations like ours. And right now, there is one we're studying where you can use movement like the whirling dervish. And the fourth of 5 stages of their dance is exactly the same cadence geometry as a rodent coil. And I'm going to be speaking about that in mid-July at the Psychotronic Conference in Chicago. There'll be people there like Bearden and others that are famous in this area of psychotronic research. And I'll be talking about the non-local mind. My new book is finished. I don't have the money to put it to press yet, but I certainly can go out and promote it.
Talking about Planet X, Google Sky had an area of the sky that was blacked out.
I saw that. I have vetted that. It turns out it's coming from the wrong direction. It isn't 7X, but the way Mike Harris and others, Duncan Rhodes at Nexus Magazine put it, my goodness, look at all the extraterrestrial activity we're now enjoying. I wonder what it all means.
Right. I was looking at that, and what they had there was from 2007, and it was basically between Taurus and Gemini. And I understand the real one's actually coming more from the direction of Virgo.
So we have a lot of activity going on right now, and it is going to affect the sun. And what does affect the sun will absolutely affect the Earth because it's a hologram.
There was another number I came across that I wanted to run past you. I read where there's something like 3 million undersea volcanoes. Do you know if that's an accurate number?
It's happening out here on the coast of Oregon, off Crescent City. That one right now, when FEMA went through last year and said their lecture topic was called, quote, the big one. It's an 8.4 that will drop the coastline of Oregon, Washington, and California. And they're all underground volcanoes going off right now in what is called the Ring of Fire. There's a lot of activity because of what the sun is doing. And if you don't think that that's not melting the methane hydrates, and what those are going to do is raise the global temperature up to almost 10 degrees, twice that started the Jurassic end. We're in for a big show. And it is not the end of man per se, but it is the end of one form of civilization and way of being. Now, I don't know what it all means yet. And so I'm like everybody else, feeling a little bit helpless and not empowered very much at all. What am I going to do? Well, I've been focusing on humor, ha 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 ha, and sarcasm, like John Oliver, covering myself with a picnic blanket for the nuclear radiation when it falls. He has a video from the 50s. It's outrageously funny. I posted it on Facebook, and it absolutely shows how our culture has moved from one level of relationship to nuclear energy to another. Right now, we don't even think about it, but we've got over 4,000 nuclear weapons active in the United States. Why? We're not managing them correctly. That's what Oliver points out with his humor. It's crazy. And it's old crazy. And it's the old guard, the 1%ers. They're on the run. They're losing ground in their control. And when Greece goes sideways with their banking, and they're about to do that, watch what happens next.
Yep, I understand. Keep your eye on Portugal after Greece goes.
Oh, yeah.
And, I was just going to make the comment, for those that remember Disneyland in the 1960s, I think we're in for an e-ticket ride. And for those that weren't around then, basically, amusement park or Disneyland back then, instead of being you pay a one-price admission, you bought tickets. And the ticket book had tickets A, B, C, D, and E. And the really great, cool rides were the e-ticket rides.
So you've been to Disneyland. I can tell.
A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away,
Yeah, in a faraway universe. Yeah.
I also wanted to ask, in your researching, because I know you did all kinds of things in the Northwest there, did you ever come across anything about the reported pyramid in Alaska?
I saw some of that. I never gave it much thought. There are pyramids in North and South Dakota. Again, part of the original Clovis cultures prior to the Hopi. And it's interesting because the Hopi songs and dance and their concept of dream time would suggest that dream states and REM sleep are more real than consciousness. And they talk about the memory of Nibiru and aliens and all of it in their culture. And that goes back 3,600 years. And there are pyramids in North and South Dakota. They're not like the pyramids in Egypt, but they are pyramids, and they are underground, and there they are.
Yeah, I just Linda Moulton Howe has done a couple of reports on the Alaska pyramid, and I just haven't seen anything in the last year or two. And
yeah, I don't know how credible Linda is. I've met her at different conferences with Nexus. I like her as an individual, and her stories are very sound. She did a study here locally in Williams with cattle mutilations a few years back. And I don't know what the cattle mutilation thing was all about in terms of, having a part of a tongue removed surgically from a cow and left dead in someone's field. But, and animals like deer, where something is doing biopsy. I don't know what that's all about. Again, it might be part of measuring radiation effects in terms of background radiation increasing. I don't know.
And we'll be back after this break.
We live in a complicated society. Stressful issues are always popping up. Have you ever been treated unfairly by someone? Have you ever been overcharged for a repair? Have you ever signed a contract or a document? Worried about identity theft? How many times have you been in those unique situations where you just wanted to call an attorney to find out if you're right or wrong, or what your legal rights are? But every time you think about calling an attorney, what do you think about first? That's right. Who do you call, and how much will it cost? Our friends at Legal Shield have found a solution. With a nationwide network of 6,900 attorneys who average over 19 years of experience, Legal Shield's law firms take over 40,000 calls per week helping their members. For less than $20 per month, you can have access to Legal Shield on everything from the trivial to the traumatic. Let Legal Shield stand up for your rights at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com. Or call 855-340-SAVE, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
If you're worried about your health and you're tired of the nasty side effects of harsh drugs or antibiotics, then look no further. Supernatural Silver is the answer. Supernatural Silver is a powerful immune system enhancer that can be used every day to help keep you healthy and well with none of those nasty side effects. It's extremely safe for use internally as well as topically. And Supernatural Silver is hundreds of times more effective than colloidal or ionic silver. It is perfect for use in the sinuses, eyes, ears, and on any wound or skin issue. Supernatural Silver is also extremely effective when taken orally and can help fight off bacteria, viruses, and mold that may be overwhelming your immune system. Go to supernaturalsilver.com, supernaturalsilver.com, and use the promo code SILVER2015 for 30% off of your entire order. And give yourself and your loved ones a fighting chance with Supernatural Silver.
Usually, the older one gets, the less you are able to absorb amino acids and the less you are able to repair the 100 trillion cells of your body. As a result, you'll have less energy, your tissues will shrink, and you'll become wrinkled. An older person will typically injure more easily and heal more slowly. Not fun. However, if you can consume a protein powder that is easier to absorb, then you may be able to gain back some strength, muscle, and speed of recovery. One World Whey is a highly digestible whey protein powder that may be the perfect answer for you.
My name is Errol. I'm 74 years old. You know, the taste of One World Whey is amazing. I play pickleball, and since taking One World Whey and your trace mineral supplement, I have more energy and recover faster from my working out. I used to take another grass-fed whey protein powder, but now I'm getting much better results using One World Whey.
Call 888-988-3325. That's 888-988-3325. Or visit oneworldway.com.
Have you ever felt like the United States government knows way too much about your financial affairs? I continue to hear stories about property seizures, frozen bank accounts, confiscation of stocks and bonds. It makes me wonder if the U.S. citizen will ever again have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Unfortunately, with the Drug and Money Laundering Act, the IRS Revenue Ruling 6045 of 1984, and the Trading with the Enemy Act and Franklin D. Roosevelt's Executive Order of 1933, some precious metal holdings are subject to government intervention. For this reason, Midas Resources has prepared a report explaining the boundaries of trading precious metals privately. Whether if you have any intention of trading with Midas Resources or not, I have instructed my representatives to give this report out free. Call for your free copy at 1-800-686-2237. When investing, always proceed with caution. Again, call 1-800-686-2237. Exercise your legal right to trade metals privately. 1-800-686-2237.
This is John Regan sitting in for Vincent today. I have Dr. Richard Allen Miller. You know, Rick, I saw an article in the Daily Mail yesterday, and I thought of you because I know you've done work with mushrooms. And this says, you know, could mushrooms be the key to losing weight? And they talk specifically about this mushroom that's referred to as reishi. See if I can make the scientific name.
Reishi is, yeah.
The
grows here wild. I've got some in my yard.
Ganoderma lucidum.
Lucidifolia.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So what can you tell us about that?
Reishi is actually it's not true. It's more of a conch. It grows like on the side of trees, and they used to make it, there was an artistic conch, which is not a reishi, but a similar one that they used to pull it off the tree and then paint scenes on it because they're quite large. Reishi is more of a conch than it is a mushroom. It's in the mushroom family, so they call it mushrooms. It grows off the side of trees with a flat surface on it and an underbelly that's a different color, has rings in it and so on. It's very beautiful. They're all basically polysaccharides and beta-glucans. That's the primary chemistries of all 72 identified pharmaceutical mushrooms now. The one I take every day is cordyceps. Cordyceps sinensis is the one I use. I do reishi, maitake, shiitake. There's a whole series of them. Turkey tail, whatever. They all have a diversity of beta-glucans and polysaccharides, and maybe at the first of the hour, if you want to pick this back up, we can get into the chemistry of how they might help you lose weight. I don't think there's so much to lose weight as they absolutely will limit cancer in your body. Absolutely.
Well, but it talks about cancer too, and what it's saying is the way it helps you lose weight is because it adjusts your gut bacteria.
That's the other part of it. You are a habitat, and the gut bacteria does not actually really like fast foods. And it throws everything out of whack, and it then is carried over genetically for several generations.
Yeah,
your bacteria in your gut is often what performs your intuition, your sense of self. And so diet, in that sense, has far more reaching implications than just what you look like and how you feel.
Yeah, when I was a baby and a young boy, I'd gone through a lot of antibiotic treatments. And I remember this one incident. I was very young, and still going to the pediatrician and everything. And I was having dry heaves and was really ill. And my mother called him and said it's because my bacteria was all gone, had me drink some buttermilk. We didn't have probiotic capsules at a health food store in those days. And so my system's been whacked since I was very young.
Well, that's what antibiotics do. They go in and they indiscriminately kill everything. The good, the bad, and the ugly. And so they have advantages and disadvantages. And there are natural sources for antibiotics, like garlic and golden seal. And so there are options in terms of dietary choice. Norm Shealy probably could get into it even more detail if you'd like.
Do you know of any good resources we can turn to get into mushrooms deeper? Or?
I have written several chapters of it in Power Tools. That was chapter 1 is on cordyceps, using it with transfer factor to make it a broad spectrum antibiotic substitute. We've used these in feedlots with salmon up in Skagway and Nanaimo, and they work perfectly. And instead of limiting the bacterial growth in your gut, what they do is they increase the protein levels in your body, and the salmon have a better yield.
This is John Regan with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. We'll be back after the top of the hour break.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
Good people need help. The Homeowners Association said we had weeds and fined us $25. We told them they had the wrong house. They said if we didn't pay it, they'd file a lien. Our attorney demanded photographs, witnesses, and told them if they couldn't provide this, they must cease and desist. Issue solved. Worry less and live more with lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com or call 855-340-SAVE. That's 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Longevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
Virtually anyone can hack your cell phone and track your calls, your texts, your emails, your every movement, but only if they can detect a signal. Stay one step ahead of hackers and Big Brother with a Block-It Pocket, a custom-made pocket infused with pure silver that creates a complete Faraday enclosure for your cell phone. For free shipping to the lower 48, visit blockitpocket.com or call 888-315-9618. blockitpocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Hey. That's what Vincent said. This is John Regan. Said again for Vincent today. He's out making hay, so try and keep his cows happy this winter. And this weekend, he is going to be a keynote speaker at the RK Prepper Show, Saturday and Sunday, at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds in Springfield, Missouri. There's a link on page 1 of USAPrepares.com. And there is a meetup Monday, and Vince is going to teach you how to add refrigerant to the air conditioning system in your car. And that'll be at Jimmy's Egg. Well, last hour, Dr. Richard Allen Miller and I were talking about a few things. Would you like to go down the mushroom path, the artificial intelligence path, or door number 3?
But wait, there's more. If you buy all 3, you also get Doomsday. Yeah, well, we can talk about any of those things. I think that aliens and artificial intelligence and all of that are a construct of this epoch's limitations. Because imagination is reality, and we are creating our own Terminator. Apocalypse has always been part of the length, girth, and width of man. Joseph Campbell is whom I like to quote when he said that when you see the kingdom of the Father on earth, the apocalypse has already occurred. It is perpetual in its potential. It is part of your survival circuit. It's what keeps you wanting to move forward orchestrates in your personal fee. None of this is real. More likely than not, I am not real. The only thing that's real is your hallucination of me talking to you. And that's because at our level of awareness, imagination is reality. And that's why we have a responsibility for the thoughts we choose to entertain. And when I say this, I'm moving to a whole other level by talking about the difference between intent and purpose and the way they structure water differently. I'm writing about that right now as one of the chapters in the non-local mind. And while I made a distinction between intent and intentionality, intent is only with the limitations that you have with your current consciousness. And there are supercomputers out there right now on the John B. Wells show last week in that extremely interesting one about artificial intelligence. They have profiled man down to the point where they know what you're going to do before you do. Now, what's the difference between intent and purpose? The purpose is why you're physically here on Earth. And right now, because of the limitation of your consciousness, the two are one and the same. But they are different. And while a computer can do like a minority report and work outside space-time in accurately predicting what you're going to do because it has identified your intent, it has not actually defined purpose, because that's what made you God's favored. And so the concept of artificial intelligence and the Terminator are constructs of your own imagination. And that's where you can change the movie.
You know, back in the 70s, when I was working on my bachelor's degree in computer science, and back then artificial intelligence, computers were having a hard time just telling the difference between different shaped objects and colors. And computer graphics pretty much amounted to doing a Snoopy calendar on the line printer. It's quite different today, and the artificial intelligence they have now is self-learning. They've put it into games. One of them was poker. They don't even tell the computer the rules, and the computer learns the rules and learns how to play the game. And I was reading about with the poker, it's even learned how to bluff. So we're not on a linear path. This is exponential, and it's going to, happen so quickly that a lot of people are just going to go, where did that come from? It's been around, and it's unfortunately they're being trained every day. It's Google's got a big artificial intelligence. They had 2 people at the Bilderberg conference reporting on it this year. Amazon has its own. Facebook has its own. We don't even know how many there are out there at this point. And the other side of it is artificial intelligence doesn't sleep. So that's part of the unfair advantage they have over us. We have to take that downtime.
The problem is, how do you create an adversary that's made out of metal and thinks like a machine in terms of no conscience, no empathy, no empathic sensitivity to your needs and desires, and is cold and calculating? Now that sounds to me like the way Hollywood displays an angel. And so man is at war with himself. And that's where that 4th blood type genome comes from, that unknown genome that is alien. And the war for Earth right now is going on inside each of us. And at some level, archetypally, it is a battle for the species of man to survive, evolve, and ascend. And we have an opportunity here if we recognize the rules of engagement. This is possibly one of the more important lessons I'm trying to imprint on all of us and myself, to realize that I have responsibilities, not rights, and that I have to take control of those responsibilities and begin to walk my talk if my children, which are little mini-me's, watching me and genetically understanding and incorporating that into their genetics. And one of the things I'm going to talk about is how water has a memory that may include who we were, are, and will be in terms of past and future lives, different epochs, and the lessons that we learned and why we like to sing and dance. There's more going on here than any of us realize. And when you realize that Mexico, I've been to Mexico, southern Mexico, I have seen ruins that are more extensive than New York City, higher technology than New York City, buried under dirt from a previous epoch. How does this all work? And it's time for us to move to the next level. There's a science fiction story, movie series out called Ascension, where there are experiments to see what would happen with humans in a tight module without external stimuli. And guess what? This is exactly what we are in someone else's experiment. You can assume that any alien that comes here to visit us, you're somehow related. You can assume it. That's how it works. And life forms have many, many different sizes, shapes, and forms. You can't even recognize mycorrhiza in the soil or the aggregate of complexity in your gut. As above, so below. Your gut is a galaxy of life forms finding balance like a galaxy would. There's more going on here than you realize. And the associated freedoms, degrees of freedom, are unlimited. I know string theory says there's 10 of them and an 11th interconnection. I think there's something even more going on than that. That's just, it's hard to even imagine what 6 degrees of freedom would actually mean, when 5 degrees of freedom would suggest sliders, that anything you are existing in any and all forms, including female. Androgyny and that relationship to self has a face that you can't even understand yet. And so that's what we're in, is this moment of discovery. And I am excited about it. I'm not going to allow myself to get sick. I'm going to flower instead. I've chosen that path. The glass is half full, and when I drink it, I'm going to refill it.
Cheers.
Yeah, I know that all made you grin, didn't it? Garson, more absinthe here, please. Yours are optional, by the way. By the way, you're also supposed to mention, John, Richard Allen Miller books can be found at oak-publishing.com, because I am a starving artist, and that is my only source of income, is by selling my books. And by the way, for those out there interested, I have 10 new manuscripts ready to go to press, and I don't have the money to do it.
John
Regan, go to press, I'll be set. So I'm in a situation like the rest of you.
Hey, Berkey Guy here. Are you still drinking unfiltered tap water? Does your water contain chlorine or fluoride? Will you have drinkable water in an emergency? The Berkey Guy is here to help you remove these and other potential contaminants from your water, thus helping you drink clean, purified water. We offer Berkey water purification systems at the lowest available prices online. Don't go another moment without a Berkey system. Over the last 10 years, we've helped thousands drink clean, purified water. Join them by visiting goberkey.com or call me, the Berkey Guy, at 877-886-3653. That's 877-886-3653.
More and more people are discovering the incredible benefits of alkalizing the body, and there's no better product for it than AlkaVision Plasma pH Drops. Packed with a powerful combination of the most alkaline minerals and compounds, just a few drops in water will rid your body of harmful waste and give you more vibrance and vigor than you've had in years. Now buy 2 bottles and get $10 off your order. Call 800-518-7615 or visit alkavision.com. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit Guns80.com, Guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
The Genesis Communications Network is one of America's premier broadcasters of captivating talk radio. We thank you for listening. Now, just imagine, there are thousands of people who are just as passionate about radio as you are. But what you may not realize is how easy and affordable it is to advertise with us. Radio commercials for your business could be heard on hundreds of radio stations across the U.S. every day. We can help you by creating an effective radio advertising campaign for your company. From script writing to producing your commercial, just like the one you're listening to right now. No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective. Want to listen to your favorite GCN hosts and programs without a radio signal or internet? Just call 605-562-4213. Get instant access to all GCN live feeds right on your phone, anywhere you want, anytime you want. 605-562-4213. It's our way of ensuring everyone has the opportunity to enjoy GCN. 605-562-4213. The future of talk radio. GCN.
If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS or state in back taxes, you know they'll never stop coming after you. With bank levies, wage garnishments, they'll even seize your home or business. The good news? A government program for tax debt forgiveness. It's called the Fresh Start Initiative.
I'm Paul Sibley with U.S. Tax Shield. We can help navigate the new laws, get you protected, and resolve your tax issues permanently.
Call the experts at U.S. Tax Shield now for your free consultation and get a guaranteed quote to resolve your case. Call 800-436-6451. That's 800-436-6451.
At the controls today. We were kind of running out of time there last segment. Rick, do you want to give them your website again?
RichardAllenMiller.com, A-L-A-N, Miller.com, RichardAllenMiller.com, or oak-publishing.com. That's where you can get my books. And please feel free, because there's lots more where that came from.
And if
that's what I do, I will someday be remembered as a writer. That's what I am a demon in. That's what my joy is in. And when I can write something on structured water and everybody gets how that works, that's where my joy lies. Being able to take something and make it accessible so that your mind's eye has it. Once you have it in your mind's eye, that's all it takes to make it real. It's not about technology. It's your mind's eye.
And I just wanted to add, if you didn't get a chance to copy that down, you can always go to usaprepares.com, click on the instructor tab, and you'll find Dr. Richard Allen Miller in the health and medicine section.
Your quality of interference is terrible. You need to have your board cleaned up there. I don't know what's wrong.
Okay, everything's clear on my side.
Well, it just started to get clear. I don't know what you're doing, but there it is. I'm getting static or kind of a distortion in your voice a little bit.
Okay. Well, what else would you like to talk about today?
Where would you like to go? What is it that you want to know? Pretend you're at that little old cafe where they have the little Swami thing on the side where you put your quarter in and you ask it any question. And Johnny Carson then holds the envelope up next to his head and he says, "Survey says," oh no, that's a different show. But you get the idea. What would you like to know?
Well, again, I'll go back to an article I found yesterday. This one was on Truth Stream Media, and they published a clipping from a newspaper, the Indiana Gazette, Thursday, October 4th, 1990, and the headline from back then, EPA to release report linking electromagnetic fields to cancers.
Yeah, that's there's a series of studies out now that will show that your body has dosimetry. That means that certain frequency bands are toxic to certain organs, and they're different for each organ. And that a cell phone radiating at 5 megahertz is toxic to brain cells. And to hold your telephone up next to your head is not a very good idea. Holding your telephone down in your pocket next to your gonads, not a very good idea. Actually, getting rid of your cell phone like I did my track phone was a great idea. Now I have more space, and while I may be stuck out somewhere in an emergency, there will always be somebody coming through with a cell phone. So I have chosen not to play in that arena anymore, and that I mostly use speakerphone and try to keep the thing at least one zone away from my head.
Yeah, I do that, and I also have the headset I can put on so I can keep it away from me.
Well, the headphone kind of locks you into a space there rather than using air and sound, but I get it. Even though it's minor and it isn't the same as the radiating of a cell phone going to a tower down the street, it's still electromagnetic fields like a sleeping blanket. It does have limitations and toxicity.
Yeah, most of the time I'll be on speaker, but sometimes I have to use my cell as a backup on the air, not very often, and that's when I'll switch over to the headphone.
Yeah, right. And you do what you can. For me, I'm just a grumpy old man, and I refuse. And so some radio stations, like Coast to Coast, George Norrie, will try to punish me because, by giving me one less hour because I will not use a headphone. I won't do it.
This is John Regan with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. We'll be back in a few minutes.
How many of you want to learn how to dig up bugs, worms, and raise crickets for food? Do you prefer to eat them dried and crunchy or while still alive? Well, you won't have to if you can defend your food supply from predators. You may want to get an AR-15 kit from guns80.com and build your own AR-15 rifle from a kit. If you can legally own a rifle, you can purchase this AR-15 kit. If you're handy, you can complete the rifle in about an hour. The kit comes with all the parts you're going to need to build your rifle, but you'll need a drill press. And survivalists need one anyway. The Guns80.com team purchased the same used floor-standing drill press that I have for $100. You can too. And when you're finished, you'll have a paperwork-free AR-15 rifle, a drill press, drill bits, and the knowledge to maintain your AR-15 rifle, all for less than you expect. So if you want a paperwork-free AR-15 parts kit like mine, visit guns80.com, guns80.com, and let the unprepared have our share of the bugs.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number, 1-855-905-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. Say goodbye to the cable guy and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. Sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $19.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV. Say goodbye to the cable guy. Cut costs and get more. 1-855-905-MY-TV. 1-855-905-MY-TV.
Honey, it's time for dinner. What are you doing over there on your computer?
I'm shopping for a new wallet. Mine is falling apart. Hey, did you know there's a company called ID Stronghold that makes shielded wallets to prevent electronic pickpocketing?
Oh, I didn't realize there was such a thing as electronic pickpocketing. What is that?
Well, apparently, many of the new credit and debit cards being issued have radio chips inside them called RFID that transmit our banking information to card readers when we pay. Unfortunately, a bad guy can also get one of these readers and go around the city scanning people, collecting their credit card numbers and personal information without us knowing it.
Wow, that sounds scary. Since you're getting a new wallet anyway, you should definitely get an ID Stronghold shielded wallet. Are they more expensive?
No. In fact, I can get a shielded leather wallet from IDStronghold.com for the same price or less than regular unshielded wallets from other stores.
Sounds great. My wallet isn't falling apart yet, but let me pick one out too. I want to be protected, and these wallets at IDStronghold.com look fantastic.
I'm Vincent Finelli of USAPrepares.com. As most of you know, I broadcast weekday mornings on GCN from 9 to 11. And I'm also a full-time farmer. Add to that mix the weekly meetups and the Get Prepared Expo, and this combination makes for a demanding schedule. On the farm, we raise grass-fed Black Angus cattle and provide them with the best variety of summer and fall grasses available. Our cattle are exposed to the extremes of weather, the toxins in the air, and the electromagnetic radiation that's all around us. So even the best grasses and food that we provide are not enough. Our cattle require minerals and supplements for strong health and resistance to disease. And so do we. For these reasons, my mother, our children, Mrs. Finelli, and I all take Youngevity, Beyond Tangy Tangerine, De-Stress, Glucogel, and EFA+. USAPreparesTeam.com. And thank you for being in class today.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
Why do over 50% of North Americans suffer from some form of chronic ailment? Could it be due to a toxic overload? It's time to take back your life. Get the lead out as well as the cadmium, mercury, and calcium. Extendovite is a garlic cayenne supplement with 5 other herbs that acts like a natural Drano, cleaning out the stored toxins, restoring your energy and youthfulness that we've lost. If you would like to live your life free of sickness, pain, or fear, then Extendovite is for you. Available in either capsules or liquid, you too can see why Extendovite is the #1 heart drop available. To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822, or visit our website at heartdrop.com.
Extend your life with Extendovite.
This is your captain, John Regan, at the controls today. Here with Dr. Richard Allen Miller. Rick, you were talking about ancient cities in America, and we actually have one of those here at Rockwall. There's I don't know if you're familiar with it. There's a buried city that had a 50-foot high wall that's 3.5 by 5.5 miles. So that's enclosing a pretty large area. And
it might be like the what's that one in Turkey? Gublecki. I don't know how to pronounce the name. They were probably trying to, with their understanding of an impending ice age, protect themselves. That's most likely what that's about.
It looks like it got buried at the end of the last ice age.
Well, there it is. Survival. Didn't work either, did it?
And the sad thing is a couple of years ago, one of these cable channels did a show on it. And I think the scientist that had the show was a geologist. And they actually went in, they dug down, got to some of the stones, and he did core sampling and took it to a local university and used that to prove that it was a natural structure because the magnetism was all going the same way. Now, what they failed to present is that these stones were manufactured before being put in place. So if you're manufacturing stones to go into a wall, naturally the magnetism's all going to be pointing the same way.
Well, then there you go. There's a technology that we don't have, that was part of a previous civilization. Thank God they didn't have nuclear energy.
And one of the things they didn't talk about, too, one of the stones from a previous dig, they found 2 metal rings embedded in the stone. And these were alloys that included tin. And there is no tin anywhere near Dallas. The closest is Alaska. I think the second closest is the UK.
Either that or you had cold fusion and you made it.
So, and another thing is if you look at the angle of the city, it matches the angle that several of the other cities here in America have.
Yeah, ley lines, the concept of natural forces on Earth. That's Captain Cathay in his Harmonic 33. That is a must-read by anybody. I found his works to be exemplary. And actually, there's way more going on here than any of us realize in regard to advanced technologies from previous epochs. That is why the Nazis were so enamored with the Ark of the Covenant, that concept of previous technologies.
Yeah, I don't think people understand the occult nature of World War II.
Well, most people don't realize that every single element of our society has an occult element. It has, since recorded history. In Europe, magic was reserved for the ultra-elite of Europe for centuries, and I got creeped out when I saw this video of a bunch of scientists doing ghost dance, trance dance on the platform of CERN, trying to bring about biblical prophecy. Now that is creepy.
Yeah, that just creeped me out, too.
There is more going on here than any of us realize. And that's one of the reasons why I have rearmored myself with the Eye of Agamotto. It was my great-grandfather's. It's been handed down for generations. Approximately 15 years ago, I gave it to my daughter. And then recently, when I had to do a radio show against Simon LeBeau and Aquino, the Temple of Set and the Church of Satan inside the U.S. Army, I felt it was time for me to rearmor myself with my own magical talismans. And that's one of the reasons I'm now as strong as I am, because I recognize what's what and who's who. The Bohemian Club and some of these other related things like the Bilderbergers, I don't know if you saw that last week, but they had a big picture of the Bilderberger building with 3 UFOs over it. What's that about? There's more going on here. I don't understand it all. I know that I don't know.
Yeah, the more I learn, the more I don't know.
Common cliche. It's true. Knowledge is illusion. Truth, the unknowable, can only be experienced, and that's the moment and right now. That's where truth lies.
Well, why don't we talk about something cheery like Fukushima?
How about John Oliver on that post I did about nuclear energy? That's a creepy one that's got a lot of humor to it. I love John Oliver. His take on things is so wonderful as the sarcasm and humor aspects of something that is nightmarish is the way we now need to approach some of this stuff. We have a responsibility, and humor is possibly one of the more important paths on the tree of life. It is the one that connects the male and female side at the very top, where the two paths to God are the hermit and the lovers, which is basically you do it androgynously or you do it with a partner, a reflected internal part of self in the external world, a mate. And the path that connects them in the Sea of Karansan or the abyss is humor. Gotta laugh your way through this thing. Well, it takes an edge off the thing and puts it in a more correct context. Your glass is actually quite full. It's not half empty or half full. It has been filled to the brim, and you simply cannot see the other side of it.
Or in the vein of the Matrix, there is no glass.
There you go. There you go. That part is what containerizes water and led to Babel.
I was reading an article where, we're not getting a lot of good information out of Japan. And
we're not getting any information out of Japan. What are you talking about? Not good information. Nanny.
This one said that they had detected cesium radiation levels of 919,000 becquerels per square meter in Tokyo, which is almost twice as high as the 500,000 limit that's in the permanent dead zone evacuation limit at Chernobyl.
Yeah, let's not forget 3 Mile Island or Hanford. You know, a lot of the radiation that the West Coast is currently enjoying may be from Hanford. All of those Daiichi-like GE plants are all more than 20 years old, and they all leak. And you have how many of them on the Madrid fault line? That's crazy.
And one of the things I've reported on, there's a sinkhole underneath a dam in Tennessee, and there's like 3 nuclear reactors downstream from that.
I know. The TVA, the Tennessee Valley Authority, in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, when everything went underwater. There it is. Read it and weep. It's time to turn the switch off. Right now. If you want to protest something, even before geoengineering and Fukushima, it would be our nuclear power. Right now, it is not efficient. They're talking about building more nuclear power plants. Why?
And it's not just here. In India, they're talking about increasing nuclear power 14 times over the next 20 years.
That's crazy. That is stupid. It doesn't make any sense, and it leads nothing for a 7th epoch to come back to. In other words, this could be the end of man because of this technology.
And it's like you sit around asking the question, what are they thinking? And I think that's really the wrong question. It's, what are they trying to accomplish? Because I don't think they're really that ignorant at that level. I think they've got plans.
Mostly they realize that there are too many people on Earth. That is the prime directive. That is the mandate for, eliminating the population on Earth. And like geoengineering, it's not working. We're finding quantities of micro and nano aluminum in your brain. What do you think that's going to do to your awareness and decision making?
It's like
dumbing down America across the board, across the hologram, starting with education and moving it to the foods you eat and the air you breathe.
The aluminum in the brain is like shorting a circuit.
That's what it does. Better living through chemistry.
We're also seeing a great decrease in sea life in the Pacific.
That's because of red tide and a whole bunch of other factors, most of which have to do with global warming. There's your proof. Red tide alone is what's killing off everything right now.
And we're coming up on break. We'll be back with Richard and Miller in just a few minutes.
Hi, my name is Scott Fuchs, teacher and rowing coach for over 14 years. I was sluggish, overweight, on prescription drugs, and only 30-something. Fortunately, I was referred to Dr. Z, and happy to say Dr. Z's all-natural protocols over a consistent course resolved my health issues. I'm in the best shape of my life, and most importantly, on 0 medications.
I'm Dr. Zdanowski, author of Evology. Trained as a primary care physician, surgical manipulation under anesthesia, expert in nutrition, diet, weight loss, immune system, and I specialize in chiropractic. My 15 years of professional experience has taught me the 4 keys to vibrant health: a balanced musculoskeletal system, an integrated nervous system, a flowing lymphatic system, and a body filled with over 90 essential nutrients. This has been a secret too long. Actualize your potential, reverse disease. Call me, Dr. Z, 201-945-1177, 201-945-1177, evolyourself.com.
By now you know that USAPrepares.com is your source for water filtration systems. Here at the farm we use our water filtration system for drinking, cooking, and for our cats and dogs. Which brand are we using? Well, that would be the ProPure system, because it filters out pathogens, microbes, chlorine, and fluoride. Multiple sources indicate that fluoride is responsible for lowering our IQs by 5%. Now, how many of you would like to sign up for a lower IQ? USAPrepares.com offers ProPure water filtration systems and accessories at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate. We buy them by the pallet loads and pass the savings on to you. And if you're outside of Missouri, there's no sales tax. And if this appeals to you, visit USAPrepares.com. That's USAPrepares.com. You can order online, and we have the ProPure water filtration systems in stock, ready to ship. USAPrepares.com. ProPure water filtration systems at the same price as everyone else, except we offer an instant rebate.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number. Call 1-888-379-MY-TV. The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So, disable the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money. Call 1-888-379-MY-TV right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $19.99 and up to 4 rooms. And there's no equipment to buy. That includes your free HD TV upgrade, your free DVR upgrade, and your free professional installation. And the best part, the pristine digital picture and sound. Call 1-888-379-MY-TV. So, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card. Call 1-888-379-MY-TV. 1-888-379-MY-TV. Disable the cable, cut costs, and get more. Call 1-888-379-MY-TV. 1-888-379-MY-TV.
Many scientific studies have linked inflammation in the human body to several common health challenges suffered by Americans every day.
This idea about essential fatty acids getting turned into inflammatory or non-inflammatory chemicals. If you're dealing with an inflammatory issue like arthritis, and many diseases and many immune conditions have inflammatory components. If you have any inflammatory issues, essential fatty acids are maybe the most important nutritional supplements you could use. If you have fat absorption problems, you're going to want to take your EFAs with digestive enzymes, with fatty meals. It can also help improve your ability to process and absorb these super, super mega important nutritional compounds, essential fatty acids.
To keep inflammation at a minimum in your body, do what Ben Fuchs does and order Ultimate EFAs and Ultimate EFA Plus from Longevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or on the web at brightsidebed.com. That's brightsidebed.com. Order today.
Hi, this is Steve Sanchez, and based on a recent study, it was found that 57 million Americans had legal issues over the last 12 months, but only 60% of those studied sought out the services of a lawyer. Why? In a nutshell, affordability. Well, my friends at Legal Shield have created a solution that can help you not if, but when you need an attorney. For as little as $17 per month, Legal Shield will provide you unlimited access to qualified attorneys at an accomplished law firm for advice and counsel on legal issues, no matter how serious or trivial. For over 40 years and with 1.4 million families across North America, Legal Shield can help you, the loyal GCN listener. Representatives are standing by now to answer your questions, so call them now at 1-855-340-SAVE. That's 1-855-340-7283, or visit them at lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com.
Results will vary from case to case.
Well, hopefully Vincent will be wrapping things up this afternoon, getting all the hay ready for his cows this winter. It's John Regan. My website's thefinancialstateoftheunion.com. I have Dr. Richard Allen Miller, oak-publishing.com. And we're down to the last few minutes, so we probably only got one Wesley rabbit hole we can go down.
Sounds to me like we've got a warren of rabbit holes to go down and explore.
I think there's a lot of rabbit holes that are heating up in the western U.S.
Where there's lots of sex involved.
I'm seeing, we got wildfires from California to Alaska.
Yeah, it's a drought out here. Even my well is going dry here in Grants Pass. It's happening. I would recommend, as a last parting shot, I would recommend that all of you begin keeping a diary. That's how you form inner dialogue with yourself and get closer to your Lord. I do a diary every day. I think everybody should be. Everybody has a different language. Keep a diary of things that are going on, things that you realize, things that are changing. That's my advice. Thanks, John, by the way, for having me. I always enjoy working with you.
Thanks. I enjoy every time I get a chance to talk to you, too. It's we've lived in some different worlds, not the same one, but I spent 2.5 years in the basement.
Fort Worth sounds pretty creepy.
Well, I had 2.5 years. 2.5 years in the.
Come back home.
Well, I had 2.5 years in the basement of the Pentagon working on the nuclear planning system, and that's where you really have to either have a good sense of humor, or I think some people, turn to drugs, because when you're dealing with nukes all week long,
humor while taking drugs.
It really keeps you, I guess, depressed.
Jellos. All right, nice talking to you, John.
Thanks for being with us, and hopefully, Vincent will be back with you next week, and hopefully Vincent will be back with all of us tomorrow. I'm expecting to be back Monday, and hopefully it won't be like this one where I did the 2-hour monologue, get a chance to push some of Vincent's buttons. There's definitely no shortage of outrageous things going on now, and one of those we talked about is that relates to what we talked about today is, the Pope has come out on the side of the carbon control, and the advisor to the Vatican that's in on this is one of those guys that's all for getting rid of 6 billion people. And, this really is a fight for our survival. And just a reminder, Vincent will be at the RK Prepper Show this weekend. That's June 27th and 28th at the Ozark Empire Fairgrounds. And like I say, he and a number of our faculty will be there. And, if you happen to be there, say hi to everybody for me. It's been a while since, at least since the expo in Lebanon. And it kind of miss being at the meetups. It's John Regan. Remember, honesty and integrity. What happens next is up to you.
Have you ever wondered if you could make electric, light, or heat in your home for free? How about a motor that charges batteries at the same time? What if this also restores useless batteries and saves you lots of money? Come to our Renaissance Charge Conference workshop on August 15th and 16th in Fort Lauderdale. Visit r-charge.com. That's r-charge.com for details, or call 208-304-2954. 208-304-2954.
Hi, this is Larry Smith. Sometimes bad things happen to good people, like when the jeweler ruined my ring and wouldn't do anything about it. But when my Legal Shield attorney called him and told him what my rights were, I received a check for over $2,100. Worry less and live more with lsprotection.com. That's lsprotection.com, or call 855-340-SAVE. Again, 855-340-7283.
Results will vary from case to case.
All loans subject to OnDeck score approval must be in business at least 1 year to apply. Attention small business owners needing financing. Are you too busy running your business to deal with the slow lending process of your bank? Are you frustrated at the paperwork and delays just trying to get a decision? Then you need OnDeck, the A+ Better Business Bureau rated small business experts, where our simple application process takes as little as 10 minutes and funding could be available in just 1 business day. At OnDeck, we focus on your business operation and cash flow, not just your personal credit score. And we're ready to help with loans of up to $250,000. True business loans, not credit card advances. OnDeck provides financing to a wide variety of small businesses like restaurants, plumbing, landscaping, freight trucking, and healthcare providers. If you're frustrated with the paperwork and long decision times of traditional lenders, contact OnDeck. Funding could be available in just 1 business day. OnDeck is publicly listed on the New York Stock Exchange and has provided over $2 billion to small businesses like yours. So go to OnDeckLending.com today or call 800-293-6819. That's 800-293-6819.